Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for today's Zebra Report. Today I want to talk about foreclosures, forbearance, and what's ahead for anyone that may get themselves into a little hot water with their mortgage because of what's happened with COVID. So first and foremost, I want to go back 10, 13 years. The last time that we were in this kind of financial transition, financial difficulty, I guess we can call it, was when we had what I called the corruption correction, the mortgage issues that we had in the mid 2000s. And yes, we saw a complete, absolute an increase in foreclosures. But why we saw that was because lenders made the decision that it was in their best interest to foreclose rather than to work with individuals that got behind in their mortgages. So what ended up happening from that is the banks learned a lesson, and I think it was a really big one, and that was at the end of the day, not only did it cost a lot of money to foreclose, but it also did not leave people with a very good taste in their mouth for that bank. So what ended up happening is, yes, there was a lot of foreclosures, but what it didn't do is it did not help that company's profile in the community. So now what's happened, fast forward, and we've come into a time where people that normally pay their bills have found themselves in a difficult situation. And many of them have opted to do and to work on what's called a forbearance. And that's really where they're working with their lender to work out a payment schedule to make sure that the mortgage becomes current. The challenge is for those individuals that perhaps they are still laid off. Perhaps they're not in a profession that is allowing them to even come back to work now. Now, this is a government mandated shutdown for many employees. It is not a mortgage correction like it was 13 years ago. So we're in a different market. So the one thing that I'm very hopeful of is that banks and lenders have learned their lesson, and I am really hopeful that rather than do any kind of foreclosure, they're going to work with their mortgage holders to, in essence, work together and put together a plan so that those mortgage holders can get, in essence, right their ship in terms of getting their payments current. Now, let's imagine that a lender decides, no, I don't want to do that. I want to foreclose. Depending on what state they're in, is what will determine how long a foreclosure will take. So that's why it's really important that you know the laws around foreclosure in your state, because that will help you get the right timeline. I am not foreseeing this onslaught of foreclosures. I am actually seeing a lot of lenders choosing to use this as a time for some good PR and for really working with its mortgage clients. And I really hope that's what they do. But I am not predicting that we're going to see this huge surge in foreclosures in 2021. So I just want you to really do a little bit of your own research, though, and find out, depending on what state you're in, what the process is for foreclosure, because that gives you an idea of the timeline in the event anyone were to foreclose. So thanks very much for listening, you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.